Top of it, top of it, top of it. It's your boy Big One Stack, man. And hey, you rocking with your boy. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You dig? It's early out here in Las Vegas, man. It's like 4:30 in the morning, but you know, I had to bring y'all some stuff because, man, y'all know I'm up early, man. But this is gonna be a video where we talk about, emotional scene at Sean Diddy Combs' sentencing hearing. And guys, before we get into that, just know that I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of video, and then I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of game that your attorney would normally have you play with the jurors and the judge to try to weigh on his to pull on his heartstrings. You dig what I'm saying? But one of the first bad looks that he had was one of the very first bad looks that Diddy had was his sons coming in there. Now, we know that your kids are supposed to support you, but it's like your kids ain't perfect, okay? You got two sons that are facing rapist charges as we speak that are just as bad as you. So it's like they don't count. Your daughters, they took themselves out of the equation when they were being so snotty and feeling all rich and privileged, even though your ass is still black. You're still a black person at the end of the day, which means you got rules to follow. When they was asked to get up off their cell phone by some average working Joe citizens, so that these people could just do their job, and they refused to, and they talk shit to them on top of that. And then they was caught on tape and they leaked the tape. That stuff don't make Diddy look good. But I tell you what really got me about this video right here is that this dude, the Punisher, out of all the escorts, man, the Punisher, that's the one y'all need to be watching, because the Punisher, he had a penile implant. The Punisher could never finish. They would call the other escorts over because the Punisher couldn't perform. The Punisher couldn't punish. And so the Punisher, I believe he's been using this as a scheme to make more money. I know he's done some events out here in Las Vegas. I know that for a fact. And everybody is running up to him trying to get his autograph and shit. He's tall as hell. But, you got, Diddy even had some of the escorts trying to speak out on his behalf for his sentencing, but it just didn't help at the end of the day. So let me run y'all a little video, see how y'all feel about this. Come on, guys, let's go.
As Diddy's family was followed by his son, Quincy, and 3 daughters who entered court hand in hand. Another son and his girlfriend were also there to show their support. Diddy was convicted of transportation to engage in prostitution,
now
but
watch
found
this.
not guilty
Now
of
watch
more
this.
serious charges. A prosecution witness, the former exotic dancer known as the Punisher, called for Diddy to be freed.
I do believe justice is time served. And that's because I'm strict on what the law is. His conviction is transportation. And, it's kind of hard to wrap multiple years or long periods in jail for paying for transportation.
In a dramatic moment, 6 of Diddy's children gathered around a lectern and pleaded with the judge to set him free. The 55-year-old disgraced music mogul appeared to be crying when his son Quincy said he is totally transformed and will never again jeopardize his freedom.
The daughters especially barely able to hold it together, just crying so much, looking at their father. Even we saw Sean Diddy Combs put his head into his hands when one of his daughters started speaking.
But Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, who was severely beaten in this notorious surveillance video, wrote to the judge supporting the prosecution's call for an 11-year prison sentence. His victims and survivors will never be safe, she wrote. The defense played an 11-minute video portraying Diddy as a loving dad, a dutiful son caring for his sick mom, grieving after the death of Kim Porter, the mother of 3 of his children, and doing good works like helping found a charter school in the Bronx.
Quite a different Sean Diddy Combs that defense counsel is showing compared to the prosecution.
See, guys, the problem is the problem is though. Here's the problem, man. When you're in the courtroom, Here's the problem. When you can sit and you can show videos of you greeting the president, of you delivering 10 babies, of you giving 1,000 people $100, right? Of you feeding the homeless 10 days a week. But you got to remember, they also have a chance to rebuttal. That means for every video that they show of him looking good, they can show him a video of him looking bad. They could show all the news clips of the stuff he's been doing to these men and these little boys and these little kids. So it's kind of offsets itself. And and Diddy is a little bit upset, guys. And I definitely can understand this one right here. He's upset because he was not able to speak for himself, during this. That's what you hire a mouthpiece, AKA y'all call him a lawyer. That's just some old school shit. They call him a lip or a mouthpiece. Your attorney does all the talking. You should never have to go to trial and do any talking. Now, as bad as you might want to sit back and talk and interject and say, hey, that person's lying, it is always in your best interest to shut the hell up. That's what you pay these attorneys for. And Diddy is a little bit upset that he was not able to get on the stand and talk to the jurors himself. Because here's the thing. Had he done that, had he got on that stand and talked to them jurors, that meant that the prosecution would have been able to re-examine him. They'd have been able to re-examine him. So everything that he would have practiced and he would have said, the prosecution would have had a chance to get up there and eat his damn story apart, and they would have made him look real bad. And especially him being in the state that he's in with all the STDs and all sunken in and super thin. You could tell on the pictures, man. I mean, the dude is looking old. Like I'm gonna write Diddy a letter, man. I need you guys to give me Diddy's address, man, because I want to write Diddy a letter. Write him a letter letting him know he needs to turn his life over to God, and God is the only answer to deliver him through and rebuke the demons that's been running around inside of him. You dig what I'm saying? But Diddy did, his words, those words did no type of impact, trying to paint him as a good person to knock Tom off his sentence, mostly because your sons already got their own problems, being in trouble, touching on people, putting their hand, not being able to keep their hands to themselves, and your daughters, have been running around here like some spoiled brats. So maybe if you hadn't been having your children running around here like spoiled brats, and maybe they might have been interacting with people like the Obamas and been on their P's and Q's. Hey, maybe they were able to carry a little bit more weight, and you may have gotten time served. Who knows? But making yourself that meeting in Miami next week, that didn't help your situation out either. How are you gonna make yourself a meeting in Miami for next week and you don't even know if you're free? Guys, that made the judge pissed off, and that's why the judge gave him all that time. Can you dig? But it's not about the time that he has, it's about the time he has to do. And Diddy will have to make choices in the penitentiary that will either save his life, right? Get rid of somebody else's life, and will definitely add some more time onto his sentence. Because Diddy, now you are a part of a system. You are in the black car, and ain't no telling which car that you riding in when you get to the pen, even though you are a civilian. But you will put that work in for your race. You will put that work in for your race. You will put that work in for your celly, and you will be celled with a black man in the feds. But other than that, man, I don't like to keep y'all too long, man. I got more videos coming all day long. Can you dig what I'm saying? I'm just getting ready for this gym. So remember, man, like the content, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. It doesn't cost you nothing. We on our way to 100K subscribers, but we on our way to 100K active subscribers. If I only get 50K active subscribers, well then so be it. I want people who are active, that's going to talk to me in the comments, who's actually going to, go through the content. And sometimes, hey, when I'm wrong, they're going to tell me, hey, Coach One Stack, you wrong. You need to change this. And I always apologize and I make it right. But other than that, guys, hey, man, be blessed, never stress. Make sure you finesse and get plenty of rest and stay the fuck out of trouble.